Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Happy Friday, boys and girls! Welcome back to our PBS classroom. My name is Mrs. Vang, and I'm so excited to have you guys join me so that we can become amazing readers and writers. Now, remember, we've been learning a lot, boys and girls, a lot of skills, and you have to put those skills into practice. So, I have been sharing some awesome chapter books because you guys are ready for chapter books. Now, this is another series that I wanted to share with you guys, and they're a bit longer and they're a bit harder, but some of you guys are ready for that challenge. These are the Alvin Ho series, and I actually kind of really like these series because Alvin Ho is scared of everything, and he's especially scared of school. But too bad he can't start school with his alter ego. He has an alter ego, did you know that? His alter ego is Firecracker Man, and that's what he uses to overcome some of his fears. So if you want to read about Alvin Ho and his fears and how he gets over them, make sure you are checking out these books. And I love these titles. And again, how do we know what book it is in the series? Remember, we can look at the spine. So this one, actually, you know what, this one doesn't tell us. We just know these are two different Alvin Ho books in the series. And this one is Alvin Ho, and it's allergic to birthday parties, science projects, and other man-made catastrophes. Isn't that hilarious? And this one is Alvin Ho, allergic to dead bodies, funerals, and other fatal circumstances. Oh my goodness, Alvin Ho, he is hilarious. I think he is. But if you want to read his series, make sure you're checking them out on Sora, if you have the Sora app, at your county library, or at your school library to read all about Alvin Ho. Now, speaking of Sora, let's see what school came up in our top countdown. Remember, if you're in Fresno, you have the Sora app where you can be checking out books. And what the Sora app does is it keeps track of how many books you're reading, and it tells us which school has the most readers reading or checking out books to read. So today we're going to reveal the top school. Let's see if it's your school. Are you ready? Okay, coming in and number one is Heaton. Good job, Heaton Elementary. You guys are doing an awesome job checking out those books and reading. We're going to give you a clap. Awesome job, Heaton. Good job. Now, if you want to see your school on our top countdown, remember you need to be reading or checking out those books and reading on Sora. Awesome job, Heaton. Let's see which school comes in the top 5 next week. Who will they be? Hopefully they're your school. Remember, but you have to check out those books and you have to be reading. Okay, boys and girls, don't forget, I would love to hear from you guys. I want to hear about all that you're reading, all that you're learning. Write me a letter, email me a letter, and tell me all that you're reading and learning. And if you put your home address, I will send you one of these awesome activity books. Okay, and these are perfect because summer's coming around the corner, and these are a great way to keep our brain super strong and smart all throughout summer. All right, so I can't wait to receive those letters from you. Okay, let's start with our learning for today. Now remember, we've already learned all the spelling patterns in 2nd grade, so now we're just learning how to become fluent readers. And to do that, we've been dividing words into syllables. Remember, there are 6 different syllable types, and we've already learned 5. This is the 5th type of syllables that we've learned already. So when you're reading, what can you do? let's see, this week we are learning the vowel team syllables. And that just means whenever we see a vowel team, look at all the different vowel teams that we've learned, right? Look at all the different spelling pattern with our long vowels. And then we learn the book card and the spoon card and the straw card. Look at all the different spellings. Those are what we call vowel teams. When we see those spelling patterns, as we're reading, we need to put them together. When we read it, and it counts as one vowel because it's one vowel sound, okay? Now, so let's practice with some of these words. Ready? So here I see, here's my vowel team, E. And guess what? I know this. This is a smaller word. I'm going to break it up into the different syllables. Now it's easier for me to read. Free-dom. What's my word? Freedom. You see how I did that? And that's what your brain would automatically do as you're reading. I come to a word. Ooh, I see the EY. That's a vowel team. I know I keep it together. Here's my vowel. Consonant, consonant, vowel. I divide between my two consonant. Now I have two syllables. Now, easier to manage, easier to read. Hawk, key. What's my word? Hockey. You see that? Just like that. Now, let's look at this long word. But is it? Well, let's look. Here's my vowel team. Oh, here's another vowel team, right? We're going to keep those together. And guess what? If we divide that into syllables, two separate words. What is it? Teaspoon. What's my word? Teaspoon. You see how we do that? That's all we have to do, boys and girls. Now, with all of our practicing with vowel team syllables, remember, you need to put all those skills into practice. Now, today I have another story for you guys to read, and it's a longer story. So before we read the story, I want us to go and remember our fluency check-off list. Remember, as you're reading, we're going to be working on accuracy, reading the words correctly. We're going to be working on our rate, not going too fast and not going too slow. You've noticed sometimes when you go too fast, you read it incorrectly, and it's okay. We just go back and correct ourselves, right? So what we call self-correction. When you're reading, pay attention to your expressions so that you don't sound like a robot, right? Your reading should sound like as if you were talking. And what's really going to help you do that is if you are paying attention to those punctuation marks, okay? So I have a story for us to read today. The story is a realistic fiction called The Rainy Day. And as you're reading, use all the skills that we have learned with our syllable patterns, and I want you guys to read and find out what happens to the man in the yellow jacket. Oh, so let's read it together.
The rainy day. It was the biggest rainstorm of the year. Sam had remained inside all weekend. This was the wettest weather he had seen in a long time. Now Sam leaned on his elbow and watched raindrops slide down the window. "I'm bored," Sam complained. "I'm tired of reading books and playing on the computer. Can I go outside?" "Put on your raincoat and boots," said Mom, "and don't get near the river." Sam felt happier now that he was able to go outside. He followed a footpath up the hill. He saw lots of footprints in the mud. A tall girl stood at the top of the hill. She looked down at the river. "Sometimes I don't mind storms," she said. "I like to watch the rushing water." Sam saw a stranger in a yellow raincoat standing on the footbridge. It was a man who had a house on the opposite bank of the river. "He must measure how high the river gets," explained the girl. "We need to know if it will flood." Sam had lots of questions about what the man was doing, but he didn't have time to ask them anymore. As he watched the man complete his task, Sam saw a log rush downstream. It crashed against the footbridge and knocked the man into the river. He struggled to grab a willow branch, but the water was rough and not shallow enough to stand it. The man was quickly swept into the current. "He needs help!" yelled the girl. Just then, Sam and the girl saw a man in a rowboat. He helped the man in the yellow coat into the boat. The man was saved at last. Sam and the girl let out a loud cheer. He was glad nothing terrible had happened. The weather forecast said it was going to be sunnier tomorrow, so Sam and his new friend made plans to go on a picnic.
What happened to the man with the yellow jacket? He got knocked into the river. Oh my goodness. But I'm so glad that he was saved with the man in the rowboat. Now, if you notice, there were lots of words with two syllables with our vowel team in it. So I hope you were practicing using our vowel team syllables to help you read. And guess else? Oh, and guess what else I saw in our book or in our story? All of our high frequency words. You see how important they are, boys and girls? It's important to know how to read them automatically so you can save all that brain power for those longer words. So let's finish up our high frequency words for this week. Now, today, I want you to read and write our words with me. Ready? First word is window. Ready? Spell it. W-I-N-D-O-W, window. Good job. Next word, against. Good. Spell it. A-G-A-I-N-S-T, against. Good job. Now, let's read my two sentences. Help me try to figure out which one of these words will go into my sentence so that it will make sense. Don't forget to use your context clues. Ready? First sentence, help me read it. She looks out the at the birds. Ooh, lots of clues in there. And I hear you guys shouting at me. Good job. Let's do the second sentence. Let's see if you guys are correct. The boy stands the wall. Again, look at all those clues. There's a boy. He is standing on the wall. I hear you guys. Good job. Okay, let's read it. And you guys give me the sentence now. Ready? She looks out the, good job, window at the birds. And the boy stands against the wall. Good job, boys and girls. Now let's quickly review all of the high frequency words that we've learned this week. Let me quickly grab my reading finger. Ready. Window, against, enough, sometimes, river, anymore, rough, stranger, terrible, and complete. Good reading, boys and girls. Okay, don't forget if one of these words was too difficult for you and you didn't quite know how to read or write it, make sure you're writing them on index cards and you are practicing reading and writing them daily. Okay, let's end it with our structural analysis. Remember this week we were reviewing the comparative ending skill. This is where we are adding ER to the end of a word. If we are comparing two or more nouns, we're going to add EST to an adjective. We are comparing more than two nouns. Now, and then don't forget, if our adjectives ends with a Y, we need to change it to an I before we add ER and EST. If it has a vowel and then a consonant, it's a short vowel, we need to double that consonant. And if our word ends with an E, we need to drop the E before adding the ER or the EST, just like all the rules that we learned for inflectional endings. Okay, so let's read my sentence. Ready? It says, this is the part of the river. Now here are your choices. Wide, wider, or widest. Now are we comparing one or lots of river? If this is the, guess what? Is it the wider part of the river or the widest? Good job. Widest part of the river. Okay. Let's look at the next sentence. The mirror is then the plate. Oh no, only have two things. So the mirror is shiny, shinier, or shiniest. Two nouns. It's the mirror is shinier than the plate. Awesome job, boys and girls. You guys are doing such an amazing job learning and making your brain super strong and smart. Don't forget to come back next week so that we can continue our reading and learning to read those multisyllabic words with another syllable pattern. All right? So boys and girls, have a great day learning, read a good book, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun.